Blow up, you know what I'm saying? Real nigga, man. Fuck that blow up, nigga. You fuck that blow up. Fuck with me.
Well, what's up with it, brother?
What's good, bro?
Hanging, man, hanging. We got one of the greatest producers right now coming out of Osceola County, man.
Thank you.
Personally, you know, I can say that right now because, you know, I had got with you probably like, what, a week ago for the beat. I ain't really talking much about what the beat was for, but yeah, the beat, it literally took like an hour or two. You know, you hit me up the day before, but when I see you told me about it, like I'm working on it.
Yeah, cause like to be honest, bro, it probably took me like 20 minutes to make.
That's crazy, bro. That's off the wall crazy, man. That's off the wall crazy. But you know, I just want to talk about a little bit before we get into how you got into producing and everything. I want the people to know who is Will the producer himself, man. Like, where do you come from and like how you was raised, man? Like, how was that for you, bro?
First of all, I was born in the Dominican Republic, so I'm like straight from the island, you know. So.
Yeah.
So then I just grew up there, and then I moved over here when I was like 11, 12-ish, and then from there I just been here, you know.
Okay, so you being from Dominican Republic, you know, that's a whole different country.
Yeah. How
was that transition of moving there to America?
To be honest, it was actually smoother than I thought because my dad, he told me like a year before, he was like, yo, everything from here on out is on English. So right when I came over here, it was kind of like easier for me to like adapt. But like as far as like the culture and all that stuff, I got a lot of like culture shocks, especially since in Florida, in the middle of Central Florida, like there's a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of culture. So it was kind of like, you know, that being like the culture shock for yourself, you know, how was it though, like when you first came into Florida and you were like, oh wow, because I'm pretty sure it was a whole different type of like culture. 100%.
Obviously the English, you had to learn English as well, you know what I'm saying, the food, seeing different things, because you living on the island at that first point. So like you moving over here, like what were the main things that you had to like learn as like
I learned that a lot. I don't know why, but over here a lot of people are like separated, because like in here it's kind of like weird if you like know your neighbors or you being friendly with your neighbors, as opposed over there that everybody or like where I used to live, like in my apartment, I knew everybody from like, you know what I'm saying, so I knew everybody. So sometimes like I'll go over to like people's cribs and hang out, because I was a kid, but that's just more of the culture, because that's how it is today, because I still go to like the same apartment I grew up, because my cousin still lives there and it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's like probably one of the things that like shocked me the most, because like people over here are more like isolated, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's just what I think.
Okay, word. And like I know that you work a lot with like the hip hop scene right now.
Yeah.
What made you not want to like really just being like, cause I'm pretty sure the music in Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole lot different.
No, it is, but you know what's funny? I'm actually starting to work a lot more over there since I got really big into music here. I started branching out more over there in Dominican Republic, and then I found another studio over there that they're super dope. They have a crazy movement, and even like there's somebody within that studio that works within that team that has a media page too.
Yeah.
And that man just be going with like the biggest celebrities like coming out of like DR. So it's just another way for me to, you know what I'm saying, keep going up and just keep working with people.
For sure. You ever had like dreams of being a rapper before you was a producer? You always just wanted. Was a producer already something that you wanted to do as a kid?
No. It actually came like recently. Well, not recently, but like a long time back. Because I basically started doing sound for like my church, so then that was kind of like the gateway to like music. Because then like I started liking like the faders and all that, so I got more interested, and then I just came here.
Okay, so when was the first time you actually started producing your own music? How was that experience?
To be honest, at first I didn't even know what I was doing, but I kind of just went on YouTube University, you feel me?
Yeah.
Started watching a lot of tutorials just to keep getting better. But I basically started really in like my sophomore, junior year, I would say. That's when like I started.
And what type of beats was you already listening to that made you want to make beats?
I would say that probably Metro is like my biggest inspiration. Like I'll have like my big three like inspirations is Dr. Dre, Quincy Jones. You know Quincy Jones, right?
Of course, Quincy Jones.
Yeah, so
for a minute.
Exactly, and him and Metro. Those were like my three like that people that I look up to. So, and then around that time, it was when Drake and Future dropped "What a Time to Be Alive," and I feel like that album just clicked for me.
That album was crazy. That's one of the legendary albums. To this day, I listen to it, and I'm just like, it don't get old, because realistically,
it really doesn't, bro.
That album has so much tracks on it that it's just so different, man. And that being said, man, the type of styles of music on that album, it
inspired a lot. Yeah, for sure. I can say that like Metro really is like a trendsetter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that man just
for sure. So that's somebody that you like got you really into like more than to make beats and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. And with that being said, you know, you actually getting into the studio or wherever you was at, how was that experience? Like you first made a beat. Talk about that.
Okay. Man, yeah, that was a long time ago, but yeah, it was just basically me, cause around that time, my parents, they got me like a little like MIDI board, so I was just going crazy every day, just trying to make a beat. But the first one, it was just some simple chords here and there. Like I'm gonna show you after, if I don't know if I still have it, but yeah, so yeah, that's how it kind of came about.
Okay.
Cause my first beat, I made it for like a specific artist that I still work with today. Like he's on a different lane that I'm trying to like be a part of it, just so I can be like different. But yeah.
I was gonna say, cause I know for a fact, I don't know if you just made a beat because you wanted to just make a beat because you wanted to learn, or did you make the beat because you wanted to give it to an artist and everything? So that's pretty cool. So you could say that you made the beat because you started making beats because. Your friends?
Yeah, exactly. Like my friends inspired me like a lot too. But I personally feel that like if you're gonna be like a producer, you know, you wanna tap in with an artist more and just kind of hold on to him and just build that sound with him. You know what I'm saying? Because like in the long run, it's just gonna pay out. And like 9 times out of 10, like the big producers say the same thing. They usually say like, oh, like focus on the big artists, but kind of grab one and just stick with them and just build a sound with them, just so that you can really like stand out. You know what I'm saying?
Or how long did it take you to actually find your lane with this producing?
I'll say I started taking it like seriously with the producing in probably like around quarantine, like that same year.
Yeah.
Like
2020.
Yeah. Like that same year. No, actually, like probably like the end of 2019. I'll say that's when like it really like clicked in, and I'm like, okay, like I can probably do this, you know.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, for sure. Like, what was that experience for you that made you feel that way?
It was just like a lot of stuff was just like clicking, or they were just pointing into this direction, and I kind of just took a leap of faith.
You know, you dealing with an artist, man. If a producer right now that's watching this, what would you tell them, like, as a producer, for them to go about being a producer to like work with artists? Because I know it's different ways with different artists. I know sometimes you get into like difficulties, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes artists might not like the beat. Like, can you give them advice to how to like go about it and this shit to have with artists?
So there's a couple ways that you can really do it. The first way that I'll say that if you're out there and you know you don't really have like that much motion in your hometown, or you don't really know anybody that's an artist, what I really recommend you to do is just go on YouTube University, bro, and just start learning how to like make melodies. Because like I can tell you right now, a lot of the time that some producers get just placements or just songs with artists is because they make a melody and they send it out to a bigger producer, and then that bigger producer just has that relationship with that artist, and they just, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like an assist from there. So one of the things that if you don't have that artist to build with, I would recommend just go that route, because then that way you can meet other producers, and then you'll start building relationships through there. You know what I'm saying? Because not necessarily you have to build one with an artist, but even if you know a bigger producer, or you can get to a bigger producer, that's what I would totally recommend if you don't have any like motion in your town.
For sure. And when you put like your beats together, like what's the process of that? Like how do you start your own process? How does Will start his process of making his own song?
Usually I usually collab with like a lot of producers. You know, like that one beat that I did. It was with that man. He got songs with like 42 Doug, ESTG. So like that man, like as far as like the Detroit scene, he's like there. You know what I'm saying? So like I just connect with like a lot of producers, and you know we go on from there. Like that was the same thing how I got the Vezo one. The Vezo one, it was just more because it was like my dog, but legit was another producer. He sent me like something like a melody, and then I just, you know what I'm saying, finished it off, give it to my man's, and then he just got that on there.
Okay, where do you ever have any difficulties when you're making beats and putting things together? Like, what is the hard part of being a producer? The
hard part, but also the really important part is just the business. Cause I get it is a lot, because what I can tell you, bro, there's a lot more paperwork in the producing than it is with an artist. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to get the song registered, you got to make sure that nobody's out here stealing your beats, this, that, and the third. So it's just like a lot of stuff that you got to like really catch up, because like really, yeah, you want to set time for you to make beats, but then the other time you got to spend it, you know, you promoting yourself, you reaching out to other artists, you talking to other people. So it's just like a whole bunch of stuff that you have to do like all at one go.
Oh damn! So in other words, you know, if you think it's more difficult as a producer or as an artist
to like make it.
Oh, not in the sense of make it, but in the business aspect.
In the business aspect, it's easier. I think, in my opinion, for a producer.
It's easier.
I think so. You know what I'm saying? Just cause like, you know, you get your BMI or your ASCAP, then you're Gucci. All of a sudden, when you just gotta communicate with the artist, whenever the song drops, boom, you get your royalties off rip.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's like just some stuff that you gotta do, but once you get to like that bigger level, it'll become easier. Just cause like, you know, if you're working with a person that's signed, it's gonna be kind of easy on the light work, on the paperwork, because usually the label just handles all of that. And then as long as you know what I'm saying, you talk to them, get your percentage, and Gucci.